Hello, everyone. It is Self-Care Sunday, Self-Care Edition. How are you? And you, but especially you. How are you doing back there? I see you. How are you this last Sunday in June? Can you believe it? We are here. It is the last Sunday of June. Still a couple of great days of June left here, but we are on the last Sunday. We are. It is great to be here with you all. I've been a few days off of social here today, and it has been good and cuckoo to be off social. I've been busy, and um, you know, it has kept me off of social, which is good for the mind too. So I have not been here on social with you, but I am glad to be back here with you on our usual Sunday night. Great to have you all that can tune in live. Love my replayers. Love everybody that always checks in. I love when I get those messages later on when somebody caught a replay and saw something that spoke to them. So I always love that. Um, but it is great to be here. How's your weekend been? Um, we have had, I'm going to talk about my weekend because it has been a lot of fun. It has been a lot of fun this weekend. We've worked hard, play hard. That is a big theme in my world is to, work hard and play hard, because that's just the way we roll. So I am getting there. Boom, there we go. I got all my screens up there. Now all the screens are working right. Let's get our opening quote here tonight. Our opening quote on this Sunday night is, and it's actually perfect for my topic. I got this stage by being myself, and I should keep on doing that. Naomi Osaka, professional tennis player there with our opening quote, I got this stage by being myself, and I should keep on doing that. That is true. That is me too, but how did it know I was going to talk about stages tonight? I was going to talk about stages and not just stages. Well, yeah, I guess stages in your business, not stages of your business. Stages in your business, not stages of your business. That's a different conversation. Stages of your business is a completely separate conversation. Stages in your business is tonight's topic. Oops, I forgot that here. Um, because we went to the theater today. We went to the theater today, which we had an amazing day catching a theater matinee today and had a great time at that. We went to see 9 to 5 today, which has so many business lessons in its own right. Okay, the old Dolly Parton working 9 to 5. Yeah, they got you where they want you. Um, I'm not here to sing to you. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing. That's about as much of the tune as I got there for you. Uh, but that is a really, even though, and I'll post a couple of pictures of some things from the set because they certainly had some things in there, including an old knuckle buster credit card swipe machine. For those of us old enough to know what that um, is really great. But the there are a ton of business lessons in the musical 9 to 5. There are a lot, and that'll be a whole separate unpacking. But I wanted to talk about the stage. I wanted to talk about the theater that I went to, that we went to this afternoon. Sandra Ryland and I went to the show today, and it's on the border of New York and Massachusetts. So it's in this little sleepy area, really sort of people that know the Berkshires of Massachusetts in that area. It's out that way, plus a little bit. Go just a little bit further. Okay, you're not going, the next big areas like Albany, New York. Um, and but at that area, okay, it is a beautiful area of the state of Massachusetts and New York, because they all come together there. Actually, there's a little corner in there where you can get into Vermont too, but I'm not trying to confuse the geography here, because that's not the part of the story. The story is really the amazing theater. The amazing theater. It's called the Mac Hayden Theater, MAC, the Mac Hayden Theater, and it is a small theater in the round. It is a theater in the round, so there's no bad seats in the house. Okay. And it's a small stage because, 9 to 5's been a stage show for a long time, but it's typically done on a with massive sets coming in and out, um, and a big, big theatrical performance. And this stage is not. This is and even though it's a theater in the round, because I've been to theaters in the round before that have big stages, this is a very tiny stage. A very tiny stage. Um, but no seat is a bad seat. No seat in this theater is a bad seat. We were in the last row. It was a sold out show. We were in the last row, and we had we were right there. We were right with it, and didn't miss a thing. And literally didn't miss a beat. Because 9 to 5 is just that toe tapping beat. You're right there with it. But that theater got me thinking about our variety of stores. The stage, your stage and your stores. Okay, that is quite the variety. Okay, um, your stage of your store is that. Okay, you have your own theater that you open up every day. And so often we don't think about enough of the sight lines. Is every spot in your store a great spot? What do you do if you have a small store? Okay. And to an extent, even a big store is there's always a bigger store. Okay. Even if you have a big store, what you would perceive as a big store, there's always a bigger store. Okay. We have people with stores up to 40,000 and more square feet. I have worked with stores with big footprints into the 6 figures of square feet. These are big stores. Some stores are really small, 500, 1,000 square feet. I have a company that I worked for that did have a store. They don't have it. They don't have that location anymore. That was 300 square feet. So, they had to be very versatile with their stage, what they chose to put out, what they chose to display, what they chose to take, the intentions that they made with their customer. We have to make this all the time. And it's not about creating sight lines. A whole nother topic is creating sight lines to prevent theft. Okay, but this is sight lines to engage your customer and to keep your customer engaged in the store and to be able to follow them. That's really what this theater was talking about today and teaching us. was they punch way above their weight. Okay, way above their weight, because they are have this environment that connects with their audience. And you can do that too, regardless of your size store. So you can have a really small store. Okay, like I use the example of a 300 square foot, 1,000 square foot store is a common starting point for a lot of stores in this business. And you can do some things that sometimes a bigger store can't even do because they aren't as scrappy. They think they have this endless space. But when you are smaller, you really optimize your inventory. You curate your selection better. You price better so it keeps on moving because you certainly don't want to look at the same thing every day. You keep all of these things in motion. Okay, you keep everything in motion because it matters even more than when you're bigger. Okay, it matters when you're bigger, you lose sight of it though. Okay, you lose sight of it and your customers lose sight of it. So part of it is as you grow, so maybe you're a 3,000 square foot store now or a 5,000 square foot store now, you have to keep it so not only that you can see it and you can wrap your arms around it, but so your customers can wrap their arms around it. So they don't feel lost in your store. So they feel connected. So they know where things are. Do they know where the dress section is? Do they know where the men's section is? Do they know where the kids section is? Do they know where your home decor and furniture are? How do they know how to get around and map your store? Okay? How do they know how to connect with you and your business and your stage? How do they know how to interact with the show? Because you are the conductor of your show. How do they know how to connect with that? Okay? So that they don't feel there's a bad seat anywhere in your store. Because one of the things, and again, regardless of size, you know, you have that bad corner, okay? You have the junk corner, okay? That corner you don't get to, that you don't keep up, that always has the dust bunnies or always has the junky merchandise. And, it just sort of develops because, oh, well, people don't shop in that corner really anyway, so I spend less attention that way. Well, how do we make that section the highlight of your store? How do we help your customers connect, just like the Mac Hayden Theater did, so that every person in the audience didn't felt like they were looking and had the best seat in the house? So that's what you want to do in your store. You want to create that from all angles and all viewpoints. Often when I'm on site with a store, okay, I'm always snapping pictures of the store from different viewpoints. Okay, I'm grabbing a picture from when I walk in the door from all angles. I'm taking a picture of all angles. I'm standing behind the counter and I'm doing the same thing. What can I see when I turn all different ways? I'm doing that at your drop off area. I'm doing that in different corners of your store. And you can do this too. Okay, where is your view obstructed? Where's your customer's view obstructed? Where can they find things? Um, where can they see that you are actually part of the story, that your staff, you or your staff, is part of the show. Okay, so that they know if they need something, they can ask. These are all things that go with great staging and creating the right stage in your store. And and leaving a positive experience. That's part of what made this. It wasn't, I've seen 9 to 5. I haven't seen the stage show before. Ryland's seen it, and seen it on a much bigger stage. So I'm from, I certainly know the story of 9 to 5, but what brought this to life was how the environment connected. What had them have a sold out house and sold out shows um, was the way they connected, the way they showed everything, and the way their stage presence. Okay, for a such a tiny stage. I wish I'll have to see if I can get the measurements of their stage because I was just so impressed with what they did with so little. So you can do that too. You can do that in your stores. You can do that, and you should be considering it regardless of your size. Because sometimes when we get bigger, we get fat, dumb, and happy. So that our stage isn't a good stage for every seat in the house. And so that's what part of what I want you to think about is what makes a good stage for you from every seat in the house. So I want you to look in your store from every seat, starting with outside, starting with at what your window looks like, what it looks like when you come up to your door. Is there trash outside? Is there things? Is there, is your entry mat dirty? Just start everywhere where you're bringing that all together for people and bringing people into your world. Because you have amazing stores, you have the ability to have an amazing stage, whether you have 500 or 5,000 square feet. And I want you to highlight it for everybody and tell that story for everybody, just like the Mac Hayden Theater did. It was my first time there. Ryland had been to several shows there. So worth the trip. If you're in that part of New York, Massachusetts line sometime and want to catch a show, they do summer shows all summer. A great place to catch a show. You know what else is great to catch? This video and everything I talk about. This video and everything I talk about goes over to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring the bell, ring it so you know when another one drops. You can also share it with everybody you know in business, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so we can help everybody run a better business. I am here every Sunday and Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish, Sunday and Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish. But if you have a question in between, just email me, Neil@resalerise.com, Neil @resalerise.com. We start the program every night with our opening quote. Our opening quote tonight, coincidentally enough, I don't read it until I flip the page. I got to this stage by being myself, and I should keep on doing that. Our closing quote tonight is, you build your mind, so make it into something you want to live with. I like it. I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abrams, and I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah. Cassandra's birthday's coming up, just saying, in a couple days. But until then, and until Wednesday at More 8 Than Ish, maybe I'll show up in the morning again. Who knows? But until then, know that you, and you, but especially you, yes, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you, yes, you, on Wednesday.